time to see good football, for the Sharks are here.
Hey there, welcome to SharkCast Pod, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world, the mighty Cronulla Sharks. Victorious today, 32-12, down at Sharks Stadium over the North Queensland Cowboys. My name is Sam Shinazzi, OG 2015, 11th season of podcasting, and really thrilled to be doing this a bit later in the evening tonight. Hope you can stick around. Please feel free to join in the comments. If you want to call up, you can call up in the links that are around. And we'll have a bit of a chat. Not sure how long we'll stick around for, see what you guys are up to. But the important thing is the Sharks win 32-12, particularly really strong first half. Second half, didn't go on with it, but also I didn't see a whole lot of negativity there personally, but we can get into all of that, of course. 32 points to 12. There was around 6,000 people at the game. It wasn't the best conditions. It was raining, it was windy, it was cold, and bless all the 6,000 that came along because it really wasn't that comfortable. Even in the upper Andrew Eddinghausen, in the Ivory Tower, as my mate Adam Newman says, a couple of leaks there, and we might need to look into that because, there was probably nowhere that was really comfortable. But there's nowhere else we'd rather be in this world of ours. So Sharks win 32 points to 12. 2 tries from kicks from the Cowboys, should be pointed out. Defensive line was never really broken. And as we've seen most recently with the Cowboys, they really don't turn up for these games. One in particular they did, but aside from that, over the last, 15 games or whatever, it's just been not great. So we will talk all about that. Sharks up to 7th place, I believe. Crazy round at rugby league. Warriors, Canberra, and the Bulldogs losing. So 3 of the top 4. Penrith should have lost. They didn't. But it just shows if you keep winning every week, you never know where you're going to end up. And I think that's the Sharks storyline for the next 4 or 5 weeks is if you keep winning and keep improving, of course. We're not sure where we're going to finish. It could be top 4. It could be, hopefully it's top 8. I think it will be top 8 the way we're going. But yes, Ghastly says up, up. And Trish says up, up. That's my link. That's no good. Ghastly says, I'm so happy today at the game. I won a giveaway from Will Kennedy sponsor. That's pretty cool. Awesome. Dan says a game of 2 halves. And this is an interesting point with the buys given. So we haven't got our 2 points for the upcoming bye, but we're actually in 4th place if you do all the math. So they're actually sitting pretty good, but we got to keep on winning. I'm going to bring in our first guest. If you want to be a guest, please feel free to come on in. This person is called Sharknado. Hello, Sharknado. How are you?
Mate, trying to keep warm after that freezing torrential rain, wind, mud. Oh my God, it was a good afternoon, but I am feeling it this evening. Very sore, tired, and stiff. Funny enough, what happened was, no, this is pretty funny. I was with Tim and stuff, the Shark Cage people, and I decided to make an absolute clown of myself doing the Telstra impersonation and fell over.
Oh, the
Yeah.
now I hope someone's filmed that, Ash. If someone filmed that, put that up on YouTube, or where is that? Where can I
No,
watch this?
thankfully not. No to be seen for now, hopefully. But if it's on TikTok, please send me the link so I can see myself get shamed.
Well, that's what the Shark Cage is all about.
Oh,
You
mate,
absolute
absolutely.
tragics having a great time. What did you like
Yeah,
out there today, Ash? What'd you like?
what I like out there, look, the first half was absolutely amazing. Second half, like I mentioned to you a few weeks ago, we need to play the full 80 minutes, mate, not just one half. Like the
Hmm.
Cowboys, for example, first half, they were asleep at the wheel. The second half, they came out wanting to attack and looked like they wanted to cause the comeback and stuff. But yes, but from what I saw today, it was a very good game. Like, even though the first half was good, I actually said to my friend Barbara, who's watching, I actually said to her before kickoff, this is going to be a low scoring game. I actually had Cronulla to win 12 points to 4. Thought it was going to
Oh,
be a
wow.
very low score. We actually predicted a low scoring game.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah, but
the
no,
conditions sort of said that, Ash, but then it was very obvious early on that the Sharks weren't playing wet weather football, and it didn't really
yes,
matter because everything was sticking. The handling was great, and they were making long runs and obviously scoring a bunch of points in the first half. So they really didn't play wet weather football. So I know what you
yeah,
were thinking though with the low point prediction.
yeah. But now, win's a win, which is good. On to the merge next week, which I shall be going to, which will be
Yeah, we're
good.
in Derby week. That's very,
Yep.
very good of you to point out we're in Derby week, my friend.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And before I go, my man of the match today, definitely everyone played great today. So
Yeah.
for me, definitely has to be Fanua Blake for me for the 3 points. 2 points for me. Tough one to pick, so I'll just stick with AFB for the 3 points. It's hard to
Sure.
pick anyone else, but nah, win's a win. Happy with that. And on to the merge on Saturday. So hopefully the sunshine will be out so we don't have any more wet weather. So I don't mind Sharknado, but still nothing will beat the OG Sharknado in 2015. That one was good today, but
Well,
nothing will beat 2015.
yeah, so let's get your thoughts on that before you go, and we'll ask everyone
Uh,
else to write in or call in. If you were at the first Sharknado, and many of us were, uh, I don't think today necessarily lived up to that. I think the hype on
yes.
today was like, oh, it's going to rain, and it definitely rained. It was
Yeah.
definitely cold and windy, but
Yes.
I didn't think thankfully, we didn't quite get there, but I was
Yes.
under a
Agree.
roof and you were not. So,
Yes,
you know,
absolutely. Yes, I do agree with you. The first one will always be
brutal.
Sharknado to me. Yes.
All right. But I love the fact that we can still reference it. And I guess once a
Yes,
year, there will always be a Sharknado, so,
absolutely. Yes.
um,
Uh,
all right.
yes.
Thanks for your time, Ash. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Have a good
Sam.
week.
Cheers,
We'll
mate.
see you out at
Also,
Cogger, all right?
yep.
Yes?
Shout out to Barbara who's watching. That one was for you, just a reference. So thank you, Sam. Have a good night and have a good week. Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Bye.
We love
Thanks,
Barbara.
mate.
Thanks, Ash. Talk to you soon.
Thank you,
Bye
mate.
bye.
Cheers. Bye.
All right. That was Ash. If anyone's got video of Ash doing the Telstra ad thing, I would love to see it. So 32-12, and yeah, the conditions out there were not great for anyone, players especially, and the fans did great. The 6,000 that turned up, it was a good atmosphere for the smaller crowd. So, congrats to all. Now, Corey says AFB was outstanding today, and he certainly was. He won the coveted Paul Green medal, which is the player of the match every time we play the Cowboys, as you guys and girls know. And he ran for 170 meters. He made 25 tackles. He made a line break. He scored a try. And played some big minutes. So thoroughly deserved. I was sitting with Kieran and with Phil the Fiery and his wife Sharon. Shout out to those guys. And they asked me who I would pick, and I was like, well, I don't know. I thought Nico Hines was pretty good, but then when they announced AFB, I was like, yep, AFB's very much deserving of this award. Danny says, good first half, frustrated with the second. Listen to a post-match interview with Hines and pointed out our offense was great. Let 2 tries in of kicks. We have a chance to make quality run to the finals, but we need to put these next few teams away. Yeah, absolutely, Danny. I agree with all that. I'm with you. I thought the second half, I didn't think we were ever going to just roll away and score 60 points. It's not really how the NRL necessarily works. I know they have the big blowout games occasionally, but these days, if you have a big first half, you kind of rest on your laurels a little bit second half. And they had a lot of ball, and we defended a lot, as you said, and considered just 2 tries from kicks in wet weather, which is going to happen. I will admit the Cowboys, they got better in the second half, but they still were not fantastic. So whilst they might not have thrown a lot at us, we still had to hold that line for most of the second half. So that was pretty good, pretty positive, and I like that. And I didn't think this second half was, I didn't think it was anything negative at all. Like they still tried a few things. It's not like they went into their shell. The game just went the other way. So Luce from Melbourne says, encouraging times when 3 out of the 4 teams in the top 4 lose this weekend. Yeah, it's an open comp. We've said that all year. And that's why it's a bit frustrating. We're sitting in 7th, although 4th, if you listen to other people. But we should be higher with some of those wins. We know that. But we can only be where we are now. So Avocado Shark says, Siffer was a standout when we struggled for meters. Yeah, I think it's a timely reminder that we all love Siffer and we don't want him to go anywhere. And Jesse said, I still think we have a slight chance for the 4th position. The Broncos and Panthers have a hard run and we've got the bye up our sleeve. So yeah, it's an interesting one, Jesse. I want to go 1 week at a time, but we're getting so close now. You want to look at where you're going to be week 1 and we could be 4th. But then we don't know who we're going to play if we come 4th, because it could be any number of teams the way that the weekend went, at least. And I am going to bring in someone else really shortly. If you want to join the show, please feel free to. I'm just going to jump over to the Instagram. There's a lot of people there. Hello to everyone there. And Alex says, I wonder who wins the Brayley Messenger Award this year. It's got to be Brayley, doesn't it? Crispy says, up, play the Dragons next. Yes, we're in Derby week, Crispy. How good. Shark Cage, our friend, said, great day for Sunday Arvo footy. Look, you guys did really, really great. So congratulations, and just unbelievable. Unbelievable effort. Now, here comes my man, Corey. How are you, sir?
Good, mate. How are you doing?
Rocking the Ed Sheeran shirt. That's cool.
Yep. Good to see.
You got your tickets, or you're getting tickets, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I've got them. Yep, I'm going.
Were
I'm actually going to the.
Were they hard to get?
They're pretty easy for me. I signed up for the pre-sale.
Okay,
and got them.
Cool.
Got them pretty quick. So we're going down to the Sydney show.
What a beast Ed is! Like, he gets out there with one guitar, a bunch of pedals, and plays to a stadium. Like, that's amazing.
And funny enough, I haven't actually seen him. This was a gift from someone that went to the last one.
Okay,
beautiful.
beautiful.
So it'll be my first time going. So,
well, there's our 1% rock and roll ticked off. Now, not that anyone should not talk about rock and roll if you want to call up.
Love rock and roll.
Corey, what did you make of the game today, my man?
Thought the first half was some of our best footy we've played all year. Like, because I feel like that we had more to play for than what the Cowboys do. And I don't actually feel like we played for 40 minutes. I actually feel like we played for about 60 minutes, and then just a period we kind of didn't switch off. But I think some of the boys got a bit tired with the conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like, obviously with fatigue, lack of defense and stuff, and that's just, I generally don't feel like we played terrible in the second half. I just feel like a couple of the boys got tired, and the
Yeah.
Cowboys targeted that at the right moment.
Yeah, it was evident being at the ground and being elevated that, yeah, you're right. Probably around 60, 65-minute mark, the boys looked a bit gassed. The conditions were very heavy. Like the ground probably hasn't been that heavy for a number of years, and it was still in okay shape. But the amount, I mean, you can hear the rain probably now, or maybe you can't, but there's rain right above me now. And it got pretty boggy towards the end. So I could understand why they had that display of like, oh, this is a bit much. Like, let's get out of here and let's bag the win and get out of here. So, who stood out? Who stood out for you?
Probably AFB. I mean, just from the get go, I think he got about 177 meters or something, and I think they said on the coverage that he had 72 meters after about 20 minutes. I thought, geez, he's tearing through him, but I feel like he had the best game. But when I was watching, I was thinking, okay, to me, the person who's done the most work is whose uniform is the dirtiest.
Yeah, there was a few guys who had to swap their jerseys at halftime actually because they were so dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you make of Oregon Kafusi's first stint? Because I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I did too. I was, every time he ran up the ball, I was thinking, please don't offload in this weather. Do not offload, because I was
He
just
looked like
worried
he was
about.
going to. Hey, he looked like it.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where his turn, I'm like, do not offload. Just embrace the wet conditions. Hold on to the ball. But I feel like he was pretty good, and I also feel like that big tall Tom did not too bad for his first game back either.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you're right. I mean, he had been out for what, at least 2 or 3 months, and no New South Wales Cup, just straight back in, and yeah, he did well. I thought he did pretty good as well. I didn't think we had anyone out there remotely negative. Like, it was all pretty positive, but it was good to see some of those guys step up, particularly the middles, because we're going to need them in the finals.
Yeah. I probably would have only made one change, and I would have brought Burns in for Atkinson, but that's just what I would have done, just to have that extra big body. Just have that extra big body.
I think that's a pretty universal theme, and when Atco came out, he did a few hit ups and that kind of stuff, but it wasn't particularly, it didn't shock the Cowboys too much. So
no,
that's a coach thing. We'll watch that space. Ghastly 10 says, anything up with Trindle? I saw him limping and noticed Hines kicking a lot more. I saw that Trindle at the end of the game was a little bit ginger on one of his legs, but I had a good look. It didn't look too bad, so we'll wait and see on that. But I think that one's fine. Avocado Shark says, I think we need more players pushing up when Nico's running or engaging the line. Ramian's often 10 meters behind the ball. I agree with that. That was noticeable today, Corey, that Nico had taken the line and no one was with him. So it was like,
Yeah.
So go ahead.
How do I put it? I feel like that Trindle needs to work on his kicks just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple of times, especially, I know it's hard with the conditions, but that one where it's on the ground, he's kicked it, and Talakai skidded and hit the barricade. I don't know if he could have done a little something there, or maybe not hit it as hard. Like, I understand he's running full pelt, but I just don't know if he could have maybe done something a little bit different in that scenario. But so
he had that one kick go out in the full as well. But I thought, and he kicked dead. Now I think about it, but overall, I wasn't completely unhappy with how he played. I thought Nico was the better half.
Yeah.
But I saw enough out of Trindle that I liked. They were both pretty involved. But I think some of his kicking was a bit off. The conditions, again, were not great. But it is his home ground and he should know better. But, and he might be injured. Like, we're not sure. We'll have to chase that. He might be injured. But, and that might be a reason why Atkinson was on the bench as well. So,
maybe. Can I just want to get your opinion. What did
So
you think of how Kennedy played with the wet weather conditions?
I thought he had a good game.
Mm.
I thought that the entire team were pretending that it wasn't wet for the first half an hour. I was in shock. I was like, oh, I don't know about this. But then everything just sort of stuck. And
Yeah.
okay, they didn't score off every opportunity, but they were up by 20 points at half time. So it worked. So is that kind of what you're referencing, or what do you mean with Kennedy in particular?
Well, because I just thought like seeing seeing Scott Drinkwater, and every time he kicked a Cowboys play, every time they went up for the ball, they'd always drop it. But Kennedy
Yeah.
was seen to be the only one that was safe. And I'm thinking, I actually was thinking to myself, has he got super glue in his hands or something? Like didn't even look like he was going to drop it. And like maybe once or twice he did, but majority of the time he was pretty
Yeah.
safe.
Well, I think it's just how he is, Corey. Like, he's a pretty good fullback in regards to kick defense, I guess you'd say. But yeah, I mean, my hat's off to all of those people out there. Like, it was terrible conditions. I don't know if the TV did it justice or not, but the conditions were
It looked
not
awful.
good.
It
Yeah.
looked awful.
So
Yeah.
I thought he did pretty good. And I don't know what the game plan. I'm assuming the game plan was to throw it around, because why else would you do it in those conditions? So they obviously had a lot of confidence in it. I will say that the Cowboys, they're pretty ordinary, man. Like, even they're kind of worse when you watch them in the flesh. You got the big picture, and defensively, just not there.
Mm.
Attack, not the
Looked good in
Cowboys we know.
patches.
Yeah. The longer the game went, the more they had the ball, the better they got. But
Yes.
I think it's one of those games where if I'm the Sharks, I'm completely focused on what we did, and nothing that they did really troubled them. There was a couple of kicks, and
Yeah.
that's not going to be that's not an amazing way to run into the finals. But I've said this a few times, because we're chasing points. It doesn't matter. Like, you play these lesser teams, you beat them, so
Yeah.
yeah. What did you make of Blake Brayley today?
I actually feel like he probably did the right thing with the conditions. I was actually saying to myself, I really hope he doesn't run, because I'm just worried that he's not going to be able to get the fast, like get his speed up with the conditions. And I just thought maybe if he tries to do the one arm scoop in the wet conditions, he's going to drop it. And I actually feel like he picked running at the right time. Like, he knew when to do it, and he thought, "Nope, I've got to pass it here." Like, he wasn't as good as he can be, but he was still pretty good. Like, I want him to run more, but I understand why he didn't, because I feel like he was taking the wet weather into consideration.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing is he probably doesn't need to every time. Like, you don't
Yeah.
want to become a one-trick pony, and
No.
you want to pick and choose when to do it. The few times he did it, he looked pretty good still. So
Yeah. Maybe if it was a bit of a closer game, like if we were down by 2 or something and we needed the game meters, he might just do it then, and that's probably the best time he can do it. Is if it's a close game and we're trailing by a little bit, and we got to get up, like if it's a tied match or whatever, and we need a field goal, make him run, get up, get a couple of meters, have a shot. That's probably what
I thought Corey, both wingers were pretty good. What did you make of the wingers?
Yeah.
I thought both of them in different ways, but I thought they both, and I know they both probably had an error or two, but I really thought they were good today in again, bad conditions.
Yeah, Ronaldo was at his best. When I was watching the coverage, he must have got tackled on the white Telstra sign on the field, because he was covered in white paint from like top of his jersey
I
down
think
the
it was
bottom.
I think it was when there was a kickoff and it kind of didn't go very far, and he fell on his back.
Yeah, because
Although maybe it was the Telstra thing as well, but there was a moment where he got up and he was just like covered in stuff.
yeah, because when I think it might have been it was either Kennedy or Talakai passed it to him, I said to myself, "Why is he passing to a Cowboys player?" Because I thought he was covered
Yeah,
from the
right.
white down.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Cowboy, but I loved how strong he was in defense, and when he was niggling to the Cowboys players, I thought, good, the older on his back, because he hasn't done it for a couple of weeks. He's been a little bit quiet with that. I always like when he gets under the player's skin, but he was
Yeah,
stronger in defense, and I know he scored 2 tries, but I think Katoa was slightly better in attack.
yeah, yeah. They both had some really strong runs. They both made a lot of meters too. Talakai, actually, the whole back five. Kennedy's 170, Katoa's 145, Ramian's 140, Talakai 155, Mulatalo 130. It's pretty good.
Jeez, Ramian didn't get that much.
Yeah, yeah, he was good. Like he was probably the least effective out of there out of the back five, but he was. I thought he was solid. I thought there were times when him and Katoa had a few communication issues. Like you'd see Ramian
Yeah.
sort of shoot out, but then Katoa wouldn't shoot out either. It was like, oh, it happened probably like 3 times. I think a better team sort of punishes you. They didn't, thankfully. Lucius made a wrestling point, and I'm just going to say to Lucius and everyone else watching, no, I don't know what happened in SummerSlam, but I'm happy to throw that up for Lucius to have a laugh. But no, I don't know what happened, so I don't want to know either. But that's just you guys do what you got to do. We're here to talk about Sharkies. Fanua Blake, unbelievable. Kafusi came off with a shoulder complaint, but went back on. Importantly, so that was a good sign.
That was good.
I don't have Fanua Blake's minutes, but he seemed to play a lot, like big minutes.
Yeah, because when he scored his try, I think it was about 22 minutes to go before half time, and he actually looked a little bit gassed. Like I think the trainer was saying to him, are you right to stay on? Do you want to go off? And he's like, no, I'll stay. He looked gassed, but I think he kind of thought, this is a must-win game. I need to stay on and do this for my team. And he was phenomenal. That try that he scored, just that perfect straight line, hard running front rower. That was
Absolutely.
that was one of the best seasons. And can I just give a shout out to another player too?
Please, yeah.
Teague Wilton.
Oh,
He needs to keep doing that to the halfbacks. He did it to Katoa for the Dolphins.
yeah.
He did it to Dearden
Sam
this
Walker.
week.
Sam Walker as well.
Yeah, and like if I don't know if Fitzy's just said to him, mate, just target the halfbacks the rest of the year. I don't know if Fitzy said something to him, but he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, he's starting to become the player that we thought he would be, and there's been obviously moments in his career, a short career, but where he's been that guy. But he's had a few injuries here or there, but now he's back, and I love the way he carries himself, and he's the real deal. Like he's such an important part of the puzzle, and when you see moments like that, because not a lot of other guys are doing it, and maybe it's not their job to do it, maybe it's his job, but yeah, really solid. I think he's just going to get better the older he gets and the more that he plays. So that's pretty exciting. I thought the captain was really good too, Corey. What'd you make of the captain?
Yeah, Cam McGuinness. That was as they say, that was a captain's knock. Like that was really, really good. There was, obviously with everyone has mistakes. There was a couple of times where he did drop pretty easy balls, but Cam does that a little bit here and there. But when I was watching it on Fox Sports, I could hear every single Cam McGuinness hit through the TV.
Yeah, right.
Like that's how hard he was hit, and I'm thinking I don't want to be tackled by him. But the try he scored, I actually felt he did very, very well to score that. I didn't think he was going to make it.
Yeah, even the put down was a bit weird, like the way he had to do it. So he did well. Someone called Mucky Mark says, "What's Andrew Johns got against us on the Channel 9 coverage?" It seems like he dislikes the Sharks. So I'm not sure about that. All I can tell you is that I work with the Fox guys, and no one really. I know everyone thinks someone hates someone else. They don't really feel that way. They just do their job. I can't speak for Joey. I didn't hear what he said today, but I think sometimes these former players, experts, they expect more out of us, So when we're beating Souths by 2, I think they get frustrated, going, "Well, why didn't?" It's a bit like the fans. Why didn't you do? I would have done this. So I'm not sure. How was the Fox coverage? I'm yet to watch it. Corey, how was it? Okay, was it good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. They actually, you could actually see the rain coming down. Like I think it was for the start of the game, it wasn't happening, but you could actually hear it, like just come down on the screen. And like got to praise Matty Russell. He was still on the sideline the whole game, and he was just saying like he said
Yeah.
he said for about 20 minutes he couldn't see much from where he was. But no, they're pretty good. Like they weren't being biased to us. They weren't being biased to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They're praising both teams, but they're also saying that front rows should never pass the ball again for the Cowboys. that front
Oh,
row they
yeah.
had
Yeah,
passed
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
twice forward.
Now, Lewis mentions the Nico kick to Katoa and the almost try.
Oh,
Now, we were up by, I think, 20, 26 points at that point. And so Kieran, who was with me, we were both like, you know what? That's pretty cool. Like, okay, it's second or third tackle. It's risky in a sense that you're just giving the ball away. But if that kick is like 2% better and if Katoa is 2% more, whatever, as Lewis says, it's phenomenal. And then we sort of came to the conclusion, Corey, that Nico is full of confidence if he's trying that stuff at that moment in time. He's not just shutting up shop.
no, and that's what I love. And I think it was maybe the first or second tackle, and for him to try that in those conditions, even though we're winning, I actually feel like that if he had got that kick spot on and Cattell scores that, we beat them by about 50. I reckon we put the
Yeah,
foot down, and the
yeah.
fact too that he's got his confidence up. He did not miss a goal.
Oh, the goals were great. Yeah.
Like he kicked pretty much all of them from the sideline. Did
Mm.
a Jonathan Thurston for one of them, curved it all the way in. But I just feel like he's not pushing the passes. Like he knows when Nicker is about to do that line, and it hasn't, like, Nicker hasn't scored, but I feel like earlier in the year he was pushing that pass, it was going flat, and then like the decoy was knocking on. I feel like he's really noticing around him now what everyone's doing at what time, and he's really acing it at the moment. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that pass will work some weeks. So it's worth doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our friend Ashley says it was good to see ET get the recognition for his 300 games. So at halftime, Andrew Abdo from the NRL was there, ET was there, and they presented him with something. It was a medal or a ring. I didn't quite see it, but I posted on our Instagram. If you're on our Instagram, there's a story, and it's from far away, but you can hear ET give a speech. But yeah, amazing accolade. It was Old Boys Day, Corey. So with the weather, they were a bit separated from the crowd, but they had like an area over in the far side to themselves, which they've deserved and they've earned, and you could see them, and they didn't. They wouldn't have done a lap of honor just because of the weather and everything. But it's just one of those things. But there was 120, maybe more.
Wow.
Former Sharks of all, like, from the greats to the one gamers and in between, everyone's welcome. So it's a pretty fun thing they do. And ET.
How was the conditions down there for you?
For me, they were fine. As I said, a slightly leaky roof, but as you can see, Corey, I know you haven't been to the ground for a while, but as you can see, there's not a lot of coverage.
No.
Cover, I should say. So
Yeah.
it's not the most comfortable place when it's raining. But the Monty Porter stand was pretty full. The three stands were pretty full from what I could remember. And there were definitely people in the outer, not the thousands that you would expect. Or sorry, not probably thousands less than what you would expect on a regular day. But conditions were not great. There was a lot of water everywhere, dude. But I think you knew what you were getting into. If you left the house, you knew what you're getting into. So
yeah, definitely.
and as the Sharks put on a pretty good display, it wasn't a boring game. It wasn't one out footy. The Jets and Canterbury played there prior, so the Newtown Jets game was moved to Shark Park, and that was an 18-all draw. That was more of a slog. It was still really entertaining and really good, but nowhere near as flashy. And that could be because of the fact it's East Wales Cup, or it could be because of the weather. I'm not sure. but that was more your wet weather kind of style game. So
Mm.
the players definitely played a very classic kind of wet, and it ended up in 18-all draw. So what's more beautiful than that? On a wet
That's
day.
true.
Jesse says, "What's the deal with the Jaden Campbell rumors?" And I honestly do not have any intel on that. If I did, I would tell you. But how would you feel about a Jaden Campbell coming to town just for the sake of a chat?
Yeah, I would. I'd like him at. See, I'd love him at the club, but where you play him is the bit that's got me puzzled. Whether or not you play him at fullback or you play him in the halves, I'd honestly just love him because obviously his dad was, in my opinion, growing up in that era, was probably one of my more favourite Sharks players. I know he didn't play his whole career with us, but I loved Preston, and I actually found out too that Jaden grew up supporting the Sharks when he was a kid,
I'm sure, yeah.
and he's born in Cronulla as well. So I mean, look, for me, if we're going to sign him, you sign him as a fullback. If we're not going to re-sign Kennedy, I'd play him as the fullback and give Ison a little bit of more game time to get his fitness back and everything after his ACL. But I'd take him.
Well, that's the thing, Corey. If you're buying Jaden Campbell, it won't be chump change. It's not going to break the bank, but it won't be small money. And you would need to play him in the 17, but I dare say in the starting team. So
Yeah,
that would say fullback to me, right?
yeah, that's what.
Because there's no other
That's
real
where,
position
yeah,
for him.
yeah, that's where
So
I'd play him.
the great thing is, if there was an injury, he could play in the halves. And he does really well in the halves. But yeah, I don't know anything concrete about that. Like I personally don't think it's happening there. But as I said, I don't really know, so don't take that as a no, it's not happening. I just don't think
No,
it's going to happen.
no,
I
and
I think that you might see Kennedy take the 1 year, and then Ison be given every shot to take his position. However, Will Kennedy's had a pretty good month. I know everyone's going to yell and scream at me, but he hasn't been a negative part of our game since we started winning
no,
again.
he's been really good. Yeah.
So I don't know. It gets very confusing as usual. The Will Kennedy story gets very confusing.
Yeah, I'd like you said, I'd give him that 1 year, but if we're gonna re-sign him, I wouldn't get rid of Talakai because I truly do think that BHU is on enough to where we can just let him go and still be able to re-sign Kennedy because I don't think we're gonna pay overs for Will. Like I can't
No,
see us paying way over for him. So I think that if we get rid of BHU, we'll still have enough to re-sign Kennedy and hopefully Stone Street, but mainly Kennedy. So hopefully we can just get rid of BHU and keep Talakai.
from what I've been understanding of what's going on, the Kennedy money is definitely not more than what he's on. It's less. So
Yeah.
and that's the problem from the Kennedy side of things. It's like, well, I don't know about this. And it's also a way shorter deal than he asked for. So that's the sticking point there with him. And it's the same with a bunch of these guys. Like, so a Kennedy and a Stone Street, they have an offer in front of them, but they haven't accepted them yet. So that's where it gets a bit confusing for the fans. Because the fans think they're not being spoken to or they're not wanted. They are wanted. It's just, the player has to work out if that's the best thing they can do. Maybe there's an offer elsewhere. So
Yes. And there's actually out of everyone off contract, and I think I read it on is a Nine Sports or Fox Sports, but apparently there's a 5 club race for Colquhoun, and it
really,
terrifies me. Yeah, it terrifies me if we lose him. It didn't
when
specify which clubs. It was last. It
is
would have been a
he?
couple.
When can they talk to him though? Is that soon or next or what's
I
when that
think
is?
I think he's off contract at the end of next year, so it must be November 1 when they can talk to him.
Well, what I would say to that, Corey, and to our listeners and viewers, and this is not again intel. This is just my idea of it. What that says to me is that the Sharks have got a figure in mind, and again, maybe they have an offer. I'm not sure, but a figure in mind for Jesse Colquhoun, and so that money is set aside.
Yeah.
Now, of course, another team can come past and go, well, we'll double that or whatever, and then the Sharks have got to work out what they're doing. But yeah, don't think they don't have the money. They have the money there. And I can tell you, and everyone knows, it's not a secret, the coach absolutely loves Jesse Colquhoun. Like, we've known that for a while now, and the feeling is still the same. Like, he loves Jesse Colquhoun. So it would take a lot of money to move him on, and anything can happen. He's a young fella with a manager, and anything can happen. But I wouldn't be overly concerned on him in particular, just given how they feel about him. Although if you're saying 5 clubs are after him, it makes sense. Like today, he was really, really good. Like, just
He was.
his impact when he runs, he's making sort of 10 meters at a time, and very powerful. He's got a big motor, and the more he plays, the better he gets. And he's super young, so yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that though.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking, I wanted to ask you a big what if question.
Sure.
So I was listening to your mailbag episode, and you mentioned something about Reece Robson being a Sharks junior in SG Ball or whatever it was.
Yeah.
How do you think the Sharks would be going if we kept Reece Robson through the grades and had him as our main hooker and got rid of both the Brayley boys?
It's one of those great fantasy questions. I don't think that they would be suffering because, like, he's a good player. He's currently he's not dominating, but he played Origin and he's off to the Roosters, and like, he knows what he's doing. I prefer the Brayley style now. Like, I really love him, how he's playing right now. But I don't think you would have. I guess my answer is I think they would have been fine because he's a pretty good hooker. Like, he's
definitely.
He's what, top 3 to 5 hookers. Sometimes he's number top 2, 5. You know. So no, I think it would have been fine. And I didn't see much of. I think when I started following Blake's career, maybe Reece had moved on, but apparently they were pretty good contests, and there was a pretty good rivalry, and everyone knew it would come down to those 2 guys. Like, you pick one. I would imagine Jaden being the hooker before and Glenn, the dad, being involved didn't hurt Blake's chances.
Yeah.
But despite what people want to think, if you're getting signed by an NRL team, you have to be good. Like, you have to be able to. I know there's a few examples over the history of time when that hasn't happened. But yeah, Blake's done it on his own terms. I don't mean to say he hasn't, but that's a good question. It's a very good question.
Is Blake's younger brother a hooker? Is Taj a hooker? Or
he is? Yeah, he's not in the system anymore. I'm not sure where he is now.
I thought he.
I don't even know if he's. No, I think he's moved. He's either moved on or he's not playing at the moment. He's still pretty young, but yeah. Let's have some fun here. Let's bring in Kobe. We'll keep you on. Corey, you want to hang around for a bit?
Yeah, I'll hang around.
All right.
We're going, boys.
Now, this is going to be a real tongue twister for me. Kobe meet Corey. That wasn't that hard, actually.
Kobe.
Hey, young Corey.
How are you, Kobe? How was your game experience? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
Well, I was in Melbourne Airport when I was watching the game. So I only just got home and I saw you still live. So I just thought I'd pop in and give my opinions.
Now, I have to tell you, Kobe, we haven't been going since 6 o'clock. we started at 9 o'clock, just to put it out there.
Okay, fair enough. I was going to say, like, that's been a very long. Jeez.
So, did you see much of the game?
I saw bits and pieces. But I've definitely missed a lot of like small things, I guess. But for my pixelated screen on my phone. But I saw a little bit.
And what'd you think? What'd you think about what you saw?
Blake Brayley, mate, he's awesome.
He
He's
is.
just, as I keep saying, he's getting better and better by the week, and he just, I love him. He's so good. I'm on Blake Brayley Island right at the moment.
Yep. Yeah,
Um,
it's getting pretty full, dude, but
it's
there's always room
it
for more.
is 100.
Uh,
percent I hope there is room.
yeah. Corey was saying that Blake played a very smart game because he wasn't running as much today because of the conditions, and he let the big guys do it. But when he did engage the line, it was still very effective.
Oh, 100%. Well, you just saw him set up a try for Braden Trindle. Like, just that sort of class from him is insane, eh?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, for sure.
he's a smart footballer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm so glad he's ours, and he will be ours forevermore, in my opinion. I know
The
he
next
hasn't
5
signed
years.
yet. I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
surely,
I
right?
really do.
Is he? Do you know anything about that? Is it happening? Like, what's the
I
deal?
what I would say is that it's gonna happen, and I don't know if there'll be a compromise in the years, because that's the only issue right now is the years. It's like 1 year short of what he wants or what he's asking for. And that's a pretty normal thing to do when the initial talks happen. They kind of, the club kind of, not the Sharks, but in general, a club will kind of almost lowball, terrible term, but lowball, and then the player will kind of go high, and they kind of meet. And that's what's happened here with the years. And it's not a big deal when a difference is like 1 year. If it was like hundreds of thousands of dollars difference per year, then you'd have a bit of an issue. But I think in my heart of hearts he's going to stay, and I don't know when he'll sign. It might take a while. It might take some months, but he's just so Cronulla, man. It's like he's one of those guys that if he gets his way, he's going to stay for life, and he'll probably want to hang around and coach and whatever else. So I wouldn't worry at this point. I think if there was something to worry about, I would worry, and you would tell that I was worrying, and I wouldn't be saying this stuff. So I think for the moment, unless I've got it horribly wrong, I think he'll be okay.
Yep.
And Adam has messaged saying during the coverage, they said Brayley, he says Bradley, I think it's a typo. Bradley will be a push. Yeah. It'll be hard not to pick the Australian tour. So yeah, because I think he has risen above Robson, right? Like he's the number one New South Wales hooker now. So
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just showed today.
Won't beat Grant, but
well, yeah. Grant's number one, fair enough. But
yeah,
I mean, if he keeps up this
for
form,
New South Wales.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We want to give a plug to our friends at the Sharks. Our friend Ashley works in the store, and she said the upcoming 2 rounds, so over 2 rounds, it's Indigenous rounds, and they have jerseys, hoodies, and scarves. They all look really good. And
they do.
as she
Really
says,
good.
Ashley's very on top of her job. She said what she said. They're all available except for the infant jerseys, and I'm sure she'll be on top of that too. So we love that stuff. And while we're talking about that, our friend Adam, who works there as well, said shout out to Gary Dover, who's a friend of the show, as you guys know. It's his birthday tomorrow, so that's beautiful. We love Gary.
Happy birthday, Gaz.
Tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Gaz.
Now, what we're going to do, fellas, is we're going to jump over to the Instagram, because I've neglected those friends over there, and we're going to talk to them. I might see one of yours. Quilly says Talakai was a beast today. His yardage carries were hot, and they usually are pretty hot. Yeah. Jay says Talakai did some really hard runs when we're going nowhere, and AFB was so good. Shout out to my nephew who's watching. Hello, my nephew. You know who you are. MJ says, okay, here's one for you. I don't know if you guys are old enough for this. Would you prefer 2025 Hines or 2005 Brett Kamali?
Oh, I was 7.
Yeah, okay.
So that's when I started to. Oh, that's a tricky one.
Yeah. Well, if our listeners or viewers want to chime in, they're welcome.
I've got to say 2005 Kamali.
Yeah. Okay, he's pretty
That
red hot.
See,
he was.
I wasn't born then.
Okay, there
but
you
I've
go.
watched heaps
That
of
makes me feel old.
highlights. Yeah, my bad.
If you're
And
old, I'm dead, dude.
Kamali.
So just relax.
Kamali was a beast. He was different.
Yeah, different, very different style player. Hey,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
great question.
It is very good.
100%.
And Hines, what era Hines?
Like this year, current Hines. So he's on a bit of a tear right now. You know, he's going pretty good.
Yeah, he's going all right. I didn't think he was a bit. It was quieter this game, in my opinion. What I watched anyway. He
No,
didn't
I
attack the
thought
line.
first half he was pretty good, Kobe. Maybe you missed it
Yeah,
with the
yeah, for the
stream, but
first half, yeah. But
yeah,
I'm still a little bit disappointed about the second half. But
yeah, fair
I
enough.
wanted a 60-point game. But you can't can't beg.
Yeah.
But Kamali was a beast.
Okay. I'm going to say I want 2022 Hines is my answer.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
like that
nah,
too.
well done.
No,
But
I'll take that.
I do think he's going pretty good this year, and he's in a team where he doesn't need to do everything, and that's kind of how we want him to be. So, Noddy was very much hands on everything, a machine, robotic almost. So,
Who was not his halves partner back then? I can't remember now.
he's had a few. I think he would have had
Ooh.
Adam Dykes.
Would
Who
he have
else
had
would he have
Preston
had?
or did Preston go?
Well, now we're getting into controversial territory. They were both in the same team, technically. Sorry, both at the same club, technically, for 1 year. And then the next year, Preston won a comp playing halfback. So why did you open that can of worms? Why did you do that to me? It's late on a Sunday, dude. Let's move on with the comments. But we do thank our friend MJ for raising that. And if anyone wants to shout out those fantasy questions, we do love them.
Well
Jay says, good win today. Ready for the Dragons at home, who have beaten the Storm and the Raiders. So it's going to be a hard slog next Saturday. And I think we all agree on that.
Yes,
And
but we have beaten the Dragons.
Yeah. I'm not sweating them, but
we could win the comp.
They are. We could. Jay also says, good to see Hazo back. And then Kobe said, good to see Tommy Hazelnut back.
Hazelnut. I call him Hazelnut. I love it.
Fair enough. And what else have we got here? A lot of people here. Some comments about Chevy Stewart, Taj Ford. So do you guys have what's your opinion? So you're saying yes to him, Kobe?
Well, I think he would be good because if we're going to lose Kate Dykes, which is very reported that he's going the doggies this next year, I think he would be good to give Ison a run for his money. And apparently he's really good down for the Raiders at the moment. He's a young gun. So yeah, if we can get Chevy Stewart, and he was a Cronulla boy, so it'd be good to get him back up the Shire. And I think it's overall a good signing. Get him in New South Wales Cup, give him a run, give Ison a bit of like a challenging thing, and it'll pressure Will Kennedy. Unless is Will Kennedy going to resign? Is he not? Is he looking for another club? Or it all kind of depends on what Will's doing. But if Will doesn't resign, it go Ison, and then Chevy Stewart's in the back waiting for a run. So I reckon it's good signing for us.
Mm.
But would Chevy Stewart come to us and be happy sitting behind Ison? Because you're talking about two young guys who have the world at their feet. They're both really talented, different styles a little bit, but I don't know if they go together. I think a Kennedy and an Ison go together. I think that a Campbell, for example, we're going with that rumor. We're not saying it's true, but I just don't know if Chevy Stewart and Liam Ison battling out, because then one of them's not going to make it, right?
Yeah, 100%, and one won't be happy.
Yeah. So I'm not saying no. I like Chevy Stewart. I do, but yeah, it's an interesting one. The fact he's off contract and he's a local junior, and we didn't really want to let him go, is what the story is. They just offered him more than we could. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Mm.
Now, here's a good question for everyone. Dean says, would it be more special to win the premiership as a 4th place Shark or 7th place Shark this year? Well, I mean, you'd have to say 7th place, right?
Yeah, because when
100%.
it was a couple of years ago when the Cowboys finished 7th and they shocked everyone and made it to the grand final and they lost.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like that's why I think in 2016 we lost our first final. And I said to my old man at the time, I said,
Whoa, hold up.
Did we?
Whoa.
No?
No,
We
didn't.
lost.
Did
The internet's about to blow up, Corey. We lost to Melbourne in the last regular round.
That's where, okay, that's where I'm getting. Yep.
To finish higher up.
Yeah,
I
we
think
beat
it was one
Canberra.
Premier.
We beat Canberra.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Now, because
Now,
yeah,
just, when it comes to 2016, we can't
Yeah.
even skirt around the
It
issue
was-
that something's
it was-
wrong.
it was that long ago.
Well, in some of our minds, Corey, it was just yesterday, my friend. Now,
Still feels like yesterday.
Now, 7th place more special, but 4th place is more realistic because you jag that away win, potentially week off, win the prelim, or you just win all 4 weeks. But yeah, I mean, it's the higher you finish, the better it is for everyone, right? Like,
and I actually feel like that 3 of the top 4 teams losing could potentially help us in a way. Like, obviously,
and there's going to be more.
Obviously, Brisbane and Penrith keep winning, but
but
I feel like,
Brisbane won't win every game. I don't think. I haven't even got their draw up, but I don't think they're going to. Whereas, like Penrith, maybe they could, although they've got a pretty tough run too. But I think basing your thoughts on Brisbane on the other night against South, like forget about that. That was just South were ready to break and they broke. That's it.
Yeah.
They
And
held
Brisbane
on
did
against
lose
us.
to
Held
Parramatta.
on. Yeah. So I think there's heaps of moving pictures here with the top 8, which is great for us because all we got to do is just keep winning one game at a time.
Yeah, and I think our hardest game is probably against the Bulldogs, but also the game. Like, not every game's easy, but
No.
the other one that I'm really, really worried about is how good they've been playing, and that's when we play the Titans. Because I don't know if they're taking magic juice or something up there on the Gold Coast, but for them to almost beat Penrith, but the trainer got in the way, and for them to beat the Warriors over in New Zealand, they're doing something right up there, and they're looking pretty good, and that kind of worries me a little bit.
It was
but again,
Desi's scream.
Yeah. You get out of the shower. I think again the more they, like when I saw the Dragons win against Canberra, I was kind of happy because it was almost like their grand final, and the pressure valve comes off for a little bit, and they play the Sharks. Whereas if they were like really completely desperate, they might be a different team next week, and that's just a mental, psychological way of looking at it. But the same with the Titans, right? Like the more they win,
more confident
more confident, but the less pressure they feel.
But
the pressure to win.
Yeah, I think for me with the last couple of games is I'm very happy that we've won the last like 4 in a row, because honestly, when KL Iro went down, I thought they're going to target that edge and we're going to leak a lot more points. But the boys have been really good down that edge, especially with him gone. So when he comes back, if we win pretty much every game from now on in when he comes back, we're going to be looking pretty good for the finals.
Yeah, and he's on the comeback trail. Like I saw him doing a lot of running at training. He's not doing contact yet, but they're talking about after the bye. So I think that might be. Is that the Newcastle game? Maybe.
Yeah, I think we've got Newcastle and Canterbury the last 2 games.
So possibly Newcastle. So there's definitely light there at the end of the tunnel. Ghastly 10 says on fantasy questions, you think what would have happened if we kept Sean instead of Matt in 2022? So Sean Johnson in Fitzy's first year.
I don't know. I feel like that. I don't know. I feel like we did the right thing keeping Matt Moylan, because he was more of the, in 2022, he was more of the running half, and Nico was more of the
my initial thought is he was really good, and he wasn't any real issue as to why we didn't go further. So I couldn't ask any more of Matt Moylan that year. Like, he was really good, and Nico was unbelievable next to him.
Yes, yeah, and his hamstrings didn't go.
No, he was great. He was great.
Yeah,
So I wonder if having a guy like Sean next to Nico, it's too many chefs, you know, in the kitchen.
Yeah,
They're both very
it might have been good for the experience because like obviously Sean Johnson's been around a lot longer, and he's I think they've both played in a grand final, and Sean Johnson's played more tests for his country, so I just feel like for the experience side of things, it would have been really, really good. But I just felt like that at that point in time, they might have been too similar of a player, and it might have just got a little bit too congested.
Now, we have got a lot of comments, which I'm not going to throw up just for the sake of it, but they're all basically correcting you, Corey, about 2016. So
sorry,
we appreciate. No. We appreciate it. Like, our fans are the best. We appreciate it.
Unlucky,
it's all good.
Corey.
You're allowed to make mistakes, my friend. It's all okay. It's all okay.
But don't make those mistakes again.
Sharks.
Now, here's one. Nathan says there's been speculation this week about Talakai. Permission to leave. Can you elaborate on the rumors? So I don't have any more than what you've read or have heard or seen. I think that the BHU one is pretty realistic in the sense of if he's offered a better deal, we probably couldn't match it. With Sifa Talakai, I think the option is there, but I think they're a little bit more hesitant to sort of see him go. I don't know why it's out in the press. I don't know how it got out there. I don't know. But there's something legitimate about it. But I wouldn't say he's gone at the moment. I don't think BHU is gone either. But it's one of those things where we signed Sifa at his peak, and he's on good money. It's not like crazy money, but he's on good money. And I think the Sharks feel like they can't match that. So if they can't match it, then they do need some salary cap relief. And that might be the thinking behind it. I personally would not let him go. I love him so much. I would make him play till he's like 35, and I wouldn't care because I just love him so much. But that's why I'm not in charge of the club. And yeah, it's hard to hear these rumors and everything, especially about a guy like him. But I don't have much more, to be honest. To be completely honest, I don't have much more on that one. It's a wait and see, I think.
It wouldn't be good for him to leave, man. Like, he's been one of our best players for seasons now, I reckon. And just if he goes, I think we would have to go and try to find someone that can replicate what he can do, because he's just so good. He's so damaging through the middle, the edges.
Yeah,
and
but he can play anywhere as well. Like, he's just so reliable and so valuable. And
100%.
You know, I was throwing out
playing skills.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you saw some today, which was great. I mean, I wouldn't be thrown if they played him as a starting prop. I wouldn't be thrown if he was back to second row. Lock would be kind of cool. He can play centers, obviously off the bench. There's a lot he can do. But yeah,
perfect
it's a wait
utility.
and see on him.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what Kobe just said. I actually feel like that, especially with Atkinson leaving next year, that 14 bench spot, I reckon, could be his, and he's going to be that impact player next year.
100%.
Like, I just, because obviously if you've got Eero and Raymond fully fit, no injuries, and then we've got rid of Atkinson, that 14 spot is for Talakai to come on if Kafusi, AFB need a break, or if we lose one of the second rowers to an injury or HIA, just lot Talakai in there, and you know he's going to do a job for you.
100%,
And I actually feel like that he loves his football now more than ever, because I remember before we signed him, he was going to retire because he didn't think he didn't think he was going to get a deal. And I feel like we made him fall back in love with the game again. So hopefully we stick with him.
Yeah, he's a pretty loyal guy. And I mean, that only goes so far, because if another club's going to offer him a bunch more money, then, the smart thing is to take the money if it's not going to ruin his career. But
Yeah.
it's a wait and see that on that one. I don't have any more on it. I hope he doesn't go. It'd be horrible to watch him play in another jumper. It'd be terrifying to come up against him. That's for sure.
I
Even
don't think I could see him in something else.
yeah.
Feel weird.
Yeah.
Shout out to our friend Matt, who said, good game, even in the wet. He's speculating a bit that the manager might be putting info out there, which is actually a good point. It could be a manager-driven thing.
Yeah.
And they do have a say over the players. Obviously, the player has the final say, but if it's coming from a manager of a player, then there is some authenticity there, whether the player likes it or not.
They do that to get more money too. So yeah,
of course,
definitely.
It's all about that, man. It's all about
it's
all about the fun and games of the money and the years. And don't forget that they manage a lot of people.
Players.
So all that stuff should factor in. I will say that, like, you can count on all that being a thing with this becoming a story. So that's kind of out of our hands, unfortunately. Ghastly says Sif is a versatile player, can play the entire forward. Yeah. And can do goal kicking. He's done a little bit of that. I prefer not to see that often, but Adam says, I can't wait to see Tom fully fit again. He thinks that Kaufusi and AFB are a bit of the same. Yeah, I thought I was okay with Kaufusi today. I know he's not a fan favorite, but I thought he did a pretty good job. And if you go back and watch the replay in the first half, he gets injured, and it's quite clear. And he does a great job to get back in the line, hold his place. Very brave kind of effort. So he's definitely out there trying. And on the Siffer thing, our friend NRL SC Merseyside Reds said Siffer would have a strong market. That might be why it's been flagged.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true. That is true. He's obviously
100%.
always in form, and he's one of the toughest guys to play the game. He's versatile, as we said. So,
a lot of clubs will be gunning for him.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one of those things where, if he goes to the Melbourne Storm for like less money, he could probably win a comp with them and be like an amazing player. Or if are you back? Kobe's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
You had the frozen look. Don't watch the replay. You had the frozen. Talakai could go anywhere and be successful. Like, he could go to Melbourne and win a comp, or he could go to the
100%.
Dragons and make a lot of money and be their best player. You know what I mean? Like, because the options are out there for him. Obviously, we want him to stay. I wanted to look at the draw, boys. Not long to go. So we're in we're in Derby week, not local Derby week. We're in Derby week, not local being. I'm getting my words wrong. It's a local derby, not the home derby, the away local derby. 3:00 on Saturday. Then we play the Titans on the following Saturday at Shark Park. Then we have the week off. Then it's Sunday afternoon against the Knights at home, and then the Saturday on a Saturday night at home, Bush against the Dogs. That's going to be unbelievably big.
Oh,
but
Saturday
just looking
night.
at that, we got 1, 2. We've only got 4 games left, boys, with a bye.
Yeah,
So it's certainly coming around quick.
And
in my head, it was maybe 6. You like the bye?
Yeah, I think that's going to be crucial because I'm not sure. I think there's only one team above us that have a bye, and I'm pretty sure that's Canberra. I think they're the only other team above us that have one bye. So I feel like that bye could help us with fighting against some points and everything. And it's also going to help out giving the boys a little bit of a break before finals. Yeah.
So Dragons, it's going to be, I think slightly tougher than what we thought maybe. They're a team that's always in games. They don't necessarily get flogged. They'll win 1 out of every 3 or 4 games. They jag Canberra. That's pretty good. No one's going to muck around with that. That was a pretty good win. With Flano in charge, you're going to get sort of like a classic Flanagan arm wrestle. And I don't think that Fitzgibbon's going to hate this kind of test. And I think we win, but you got to be smart about these things. Like you got to know that they're going to have their backup. This is a game where they'll probably need to play for, more than a half of football. Yeah, I think so. I really do.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I reckon that we need to make sure we don't do what we do to most teams that are like lower on the table than us. Like obviously the Rabbits was one that they turned up on the day and gave it to us. Dragons, they have been in games and they'll probably be in this game. It's a local derby, everybody gets around it. And we just need to make sure we can go with them and not lose them. And I wanna say we win comfortably, but at the same time, is the local derby and the Dragons get up for it, we get up for it. So it should be a cracking game. But I think we do win. Just we have more class. And if we can shut down their Kyle Flanagan and just their second rows, like we're fine.
Yeah. So Adam wrote they had a big game and there were tougher conditions than us and might be a bit sorer. So that's an interesting one. Corey, what do you think about the derby?
Yeah, I think we will win, but the only thing that's kind of got me a little bit worried is about how we go into it. Like if St. George are playing well and they're gaining momentum, how are we going to bring that back? How are we going to bring the momentum back to us? Because I know when we played Melbourne, when Melbourne got the momentum, we fought it back enough. But then against some of the lesser teams, it's like, okay, they've got momentum. We'll just push that to the side and we'll come back eventually, but it might take a little bit of time. And with South, they just kept on coming and coming and coming. And yes, we had some calls go away, and yes, we did hold them out. But I feel like St. George are a slightly better team, so I don't want us to get too complacent. Going, all right, boys, we've got an 18-0 lead here. Let's just take the foot off the pedal a little bit and let's just keep playing our game. We're getting close to the finals. Put the foot down, hammer them left, right, and centre. And if momentum gets with the Dragons, find a way to grind that back, even if it takes you 10, 15 minutes. Find a way to bring momentum back and keep that momentum going.
I think it's a game where you play 4 big forwards on the bench.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Yep.
Just got to bash them.
Would you play? I guess Rudolph would be back, wouldn't he? After the
I think so.
Yeah.
He should,
This is a bit of a stretch, but would you potentially, with the big bodies, would you give Tuku a game?
I don't know if you need. I don't know if you need to. You would just have.
True. Yeah.
If I'm doing my math right, Toby would just replace Atkinson.
Yeah. True that. Just
good point. Yeah.
And then you have a Billy Burns 18th man or whoever. I guess it doesn't matter about the 18th man.
But,
Man, I feel bad for Ako. He's gonna do super well at the Dragons next year, but like if he was in the squad and like an actual good spot in the squad, he could actually do stuff. But where he is right now as a utility player, he's not the best.
It's the same with like we saw Connor Tracy, we saw Braden Trindle as well off the bench, and everyone was like, we don't know if he's any good. It's like, well, of course he's not any good off the bench. What's he going to do in 10 minutes? And Akko's just he's not a middle forward, and we all feel bad for him. But I think against the Dragons, if it's going to be a bit of a flano, what does my friend RCB call it? Prison ball sort of game. I don't know if it will be, but that's what they'll be aiming for. If we can rise above that and do what we did today, like they won't have a chance. But I think you need that fourth forward.
I feel like Fitzy should muck around with Flano and just name Atkinson at 6, just to stir the pot a little bit and just say, hey,
this is what you're getting.
Imagine that. And then he's ruled out somehow.
So we got Dragons, we got Titans, we got the bye, Knights, and Dogs. So I quite like it because it means there are a bunch of points to be taken. I know they're not givens, but They're winnable games, and you sort of rise to the Dogs. And when you get to the Dogs, we're not quite sure what we're going to get there. The way they're going, they might need to sort of win that game, and it might be a fully fit, star-studded Bulldogs, and we'll have a great test going into the week 1 of the finals. And then if you can beat the Dogs at home with their full-strength team, then you're feeling very confident about week 1, no matter the scenario. So I don't mind that run home. I really don't. But yeah, as I said, there's so many twists and turns. I'm like you, Corey. I like the fact we got to buy. I'm actually happy, and I'm glad it's not. I could probably go the second last week. I wouldn't go the last week, but the third last week, that's still pretty comfortable, pretty cozy.
Yeah, I'm happy with that because it just gives us that little break that we need, especially if you've got a few players fatigued, and especially with KL coming back, it just gives everyone that little bit of a boost. And I know the top 4 is in our sights, and we get that second chance. But I know something. I don't know. I would be happy if we finished in 5th because it means that we get that first home final.
Well, this brings me to this question right here. You're a great man, Corey. Ghastly says, do you think we get a finals home game? And so that would depend on us finishing 5th or 6th, right?
5th
we're not going to be top 2. So, so yeah, it's very possible. It's absolutely possible. Now, I don't know if he means down at Woolaware or somewhere else. That's a whole other can of worms. But on that point though, Corey, I'm sorry, man. I'm always going 4th. I know it's like I know you're going to play the minor premiers, right? So you're playing someone really good away from home. I get it.
Yeah.
But
because
if you can win that game, dude, if you can win that game, you get the week off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
100%.
I was just mainly looking at like I would love to just be able to play a final again at Shark Park because I definitely know that if we finish in the top 4 and well, let's say we lose, like we've met top 4, we lose week 1. I don't think we'll get the second final at Shark Park. It'll be somewhere else because of the bigger.
Yeah,
it'll be at Allianz.
Yeah. Look, I'd love to get the second chance, but I'm just thinking about if the couple of teams above us keep on winning and top 4's getting out of the picture, 5th for me would be the better spot.
Yeah, I understand. Like, you're not wrong. I'm just having a different opinion. You're not wrong at all for saying that.
That's okay.
The only reason I'd want it to be at Shark Park, aside from like we love it to death, would just to hear all the people complaining about it, because it's like it's gotten to the point where we know how you feel. Some of us, not me, but some of us as Sharks fans feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like, stop saying it. We know how you feel. Like, it would be funny just for that, hey, come on, we're playing week 1 at Shark Park. Come on. Like, that to me, in my sick sense of humor, that would be kind of funny, just because the onslaught would be brutal. There would be some negativity attached to it, which I'm not approving. But yeah, that old debate, man. It's just
they hate us there, eh?
They do.
They absolutely hate us. And you know what? I say stuff for me. I don't care. It's Shark Park. It's our home ground, and that's where we're gonna play first week of finals.
Let's play the grand final.
You can all go get stuffed, and we're playing it there, and that's where we want to play it. That's it. I don't care.
Now,
toughen up.
Now, yeah. Now, Larissa says not much focus on the Insta tonight. Now, I don't know what that means, but I'm going back over the Insta to have a look. And because sorry about that. It's this tech thing, Larissa, where the program we use, they allow us to go to Instagram, but they don't allow us to see the comments on there. So it's not a problem, but just letting you know why. Now, over there, so John says, if we sign Kennedy, there's no future for Ison or Stewart. So that's John's opinion, which I understand what he's saying. The only thing I'd say to that, John, is I know they're pretty high up on Ison, so maybe they're hesitant just because he's played one game and he's coming off an ACL. Maybe Kennedy, I don't know, but I understand what you're saying. If Kennedy's there, you'd think also, well, why wouldn't he start? So I completely understand that.
Yeah.
I don't hate the idea of Chevy and Ison battling it out and seeing whose job it's going to be, but yeah.
Because I think we've got who have we got? We've got Ison and we've got that young
Dykes.
fella Dykes, but we also bought that young fella from Newcastle as well, Riley
Gabe.
Jones.
Yeah,
right, I
and
didn't
he
even know
has
that.
he can play fullback, but he's more of a, I think they see him more as a utility player. So
Yeah.
and Dykes is kind of all but gone to the Bulldogs, not official, but
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I don't think he's going to
Shame,
stick
bro.
around.
He
Yeah,
was good for
that's
his
what's got me
debut.
worried is he's going to go to the Bulldogs and he's going to absolutely carve it up one day, just like
Yeah,
He
sure.
will too, won't he?
Sure. But I mean, you can see why a club, in this instance the Sharks, would maybe go, oh, it's really unfortunate. We love you, but you just can't get out in the field. Like it is a tough one. It's a tough one. He's a fan favorite. He's very talented. When he can get it together, he's a very, very talented dude.
Yeah, and he's old man.
Jay,
Like,
his old man was a legend. Jay says the Panthers run home. Look at this. Jay's doing all the work for us. The Panthers run home is the Knights, Storm, Raiders, Bulldogs, and Dragons. So Knights, Storm, Raiders, Bulldogs, and Dragons. So that, I mean, I
Tough
thought they were going
period
to lose
there.
yesterday. Sure,
should've.
they lose one of those. And then he says the Warriors run home is the Bulldogs away, Dragons home, Titans away.
Too much traveling for them. I reckon they they cark it, I think.
Rish
They're
says
good
bring
down there.
Toby. Yeah. Rish says bring Toby back. Toby is the man. So yeah, hopefully he's back next week, bigger and better than
Should be.
ever.
I was listening to a
Jace,
podcast, The Journeyman.
yeah, go ahead, Kobe.
And sorry. I was listening to The Journeyman, which Toby Rudolph's on.
Yeah.
When he got knocked out, he was talking about when he got knocked out. Apparently he needed a root canal in his teeth.
Oh, really?
Because he got hit. Oh, you obviously do it after the season, but that's just something to look out for.
Well, I mean, that shouldn't stop him from playing, but that's also not much fun either.
No, it isn't. So
must have been a bad knock. Yeah.
Yeah. He was talking about it, and you just go and have a listen if anyone wants. The Journeyman with James Maloney and
Maloney's on there. Yeah,
a couple other folks.
Geez.
Yeah,
It must be a wild
now
it's a bit of a weird taste.
Yeah, it's a more lighthearted, but Maloney's got some great stories.
He's a legend.
Rish says, yeah, bring Toby back. He's the man. So yeah, hopefully he's back. Jay said fourth is better to finish, but you are likely to play the Raiders at home, and that would be quite the challenge.
We said it in 2016. We're fine.
We did. Different team though, Kobe. Different team. I'm not saying we can't go do it. I'm not I'm not a huge fan of home finals, fellas. I like the neutral venue. I understand now we're a National Rugby League that it's not fair to an out of town team to go, no, you got to come to Sydney. So I get all that. But that's just how it is.
I just want to see one thing happen is if we do finish fourth and we play Canberra down there and we beat them, I want Ronnie to do the Viking clap in front of the fans like Michael Ennis did.
I can assure you that he will, or someone will do it. Probably him. I can assure you.
Probably, yeah.
Jay also says fifth place we finish, possibly play the Dolphins, Roosters, or potentially Manly, although I think Manly slipping and sliding. He says the Broncos still have the Storm twice, the Knights away, Cowboys away, and Dolphins at home. So that's not an easy run in the sense of the Storm twice, Dolphins as well. So,
Jeez. Do you know what? I will tell you, this season, like their draw picking has been one of the worst seasons ever. It's been terrible.
Yeah.
I remember we versed I might have been the Storm actually. I felt like we versed him a week, and then a couple weeks later we're versing him again. Obviously it was, and it felt like we didn't get a break from the Storm. So
yeah, I think we did this
Manly
too.
terrible.
there's a whole bunch of teams who have that same thing. It's just like, didn't we just
Yeah,
play you?
it's like,
They are
how
talking
the
about the
hell did you do
conference.
that?
They're talking about the conference thing coming in. It's only talk at this stage, but it's basically you play everyone once, and then in your conference you play everyone twice, or you play them again. Sorry. So
Yeah, because we don't
that
verse
would
Penrith again.
no, but that's only because there's a god above or somewhere, showing us some mercy.
Very true.
Larissa also says Big Tommy was back, bring on the finals with Toby back too.
And Kale era,
Lush,
just saying.
yeah. Lush says sad to see Dykes go, waiting for him to be fit. Understandable business decision. I don't know if it's completely happening, but that's the strong all but, he's going to the Dogs. Adam says Liam Ison has it over Dykes, and Dykes is injury prone.
Well,
but yeah.
Liam's a bit injury prone too. They both did an
Yes.
ACL this season, which is
I don't know. I often, Kobe, get into trouble with myself saying things like that because I was talking to someone. I interviewed someone this year, and I was like, "Oh, you've had a bunch of injuries," and they just went, "No, I've just had the one, and that's it." And I was like, "Oh, but it was a big one, yeah." With Liam, I don't know. I think it might be the first one, hopefully the last. I could be wrong there, but
yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
whereas Dykes, he's had a bunch, as we know, unfortunately. But no, I take your point though. He is coming off an ACL, so maybe they are a bit hesitant. Ghastly 10 says, will Ero be back before the finals? My mail is he will be. It'll probably be the Knights game after the bye. But I would expect him back a game or two before the finals. Yes, is my answer to that. All being well. And
multi.
Yeah, he likes to score a try. That is for sure. I want to give a shout out to our friend Ash. We've got about 1,000 Ashes watching. Ash, who does all the historical work for the Cronulla Sharks, is a good buddy of ours. And he and I are working on something which you'll find out about soon enough. But he was at the Old Boys gathering today, and I'm sure he had a blast. But I want to give him a shout out on YouTube. I'm going to try and find it right now while I talk to you guys. But Ash has put up a YouTube channel, and it is basically all this old Cronulla footage.
Oh,
and I'm just going to try and find it for you now. I probably can't. He could probably drop us a line. But basically, how will I do this, guys? There's got to be a way. If you look up all things Cronulla Sharks on Instagram, that's his account, and it's amazing. You should follow him. And he's also just put up a YouTube channel. We'll promote it, but if you guys are smarter than me, you'll be able to find it. But it's just all this really cool old footage, and he's going to chuck up a bunch of stuff. He's got so much there. So, anyway, that's that, fellas. We're going to start wrapping up because it's getting late. But Adam says, so Adam has left a message. He must know Liam Ison. He said he's never done any injuries prior to the big one. I think that's what the message says. So
that's good. That's what I like
that's
to
good
hear.
to hear. Yeah. And Matty says the Old Boys were in the Chinese restaurant and the view was quite nice. So Matt helps out with the Old Boys, and it's good to see him over there. I had this really bad thought that they were going to be like on the hill under a tarp blowing in the wind and rain, and like there's the Old Boys. But thankfully we had the space to use them in the Chinese restaurant. So that was a lot of fun, I'm sure.
Was that open then?
Was the Chinese restaurant? No, it's closed for the time being. So there's just a space there. And they're going to have a new restaurant come in. I believe in they're trying for the immediate future in a week or 2 or 3. They're trying to get a new restaurant in there, but at the moment they just use it. I think the space just for the corporate stuff today, and they let the old guys hang out and tell all the old stories, which is great. But I believe there will be a new Chinese restaurant coming, or a restaurant at least coming soon, which is awesome because it's a great location for it.
100%.
So, how are you guys feeling right now with 4 games left? How are we feeling? I'll go with you, Corey, first.
I'm feeling pretty confident that we can
Yeah.
probably get to about 8 games in a row wins. The
Wow.
only one, like the big one I'm worried about is the Dogs. That's going to be whether or not we have a winning
Yep.
momentum into finals. But I feel like that we win majority of our games. We don't win them comfortably. We win them ugly, but a win is a
Oof.
win.
Mm.
I don't feel like that we're going to blow out teams for the remainder. I think we'll win games like we'll get out to what we did today. We'll get out to a bit of a lead, fall asleep for a couple of minutes, but we'll be winning by a fair bit and we'll hold on. But
Mhm.
feeling pretty confident that 5th spot will be ours.
Okay.
And yeah, hopefully we can go on and win the comp.
All right. That's well, I hope we can too. Kobe, what are your thoughts right now? Right now as we speak.
Do you know, right now, I reckon we can win every single game. That's my hot take.
Okay.
Like, I think Dragons next week will be tough, but I reckon we can. Titans, how they've been playing lately, maybe, but we should probably get the win over them. The bye should be a very tough game, but I think we could get it over. But the Knights, we've won before. I
Yeah.
reckon Doggies would be the only one that would scare me a bit, but I reckon we've grown as a team. We versed the Doggies really early on in the season,
Yeah.
when we were kind of high on our horse and we're like, oh, we got Adam Faneuil Blake, we're untouchable, and then they just come out and dominated us at Shark
Yeah.
Park. Tough
Yeah.
game to watch. I was there.
Yeah.
All the Doggies fans on the hill. Oh, what a bad game to go to. But yeah, no, I think we win every single game, and I still see us being top 4. I see a lot of people are ruling us out of top 4, and rightly so. Penrith been flying, but
Yeah.
the wires have been dropping. And I reckon Penrith with their run home, I reckon they don't win every single game there, and I reckon we do. Top
Yeah.
4 would be really lovely. Going up against Canberra, if we do make it top 4, be rough, but who knows? I feel good right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll have to see. It, need to ask that question after the bye, I think,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
during the bye. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, but right now I feel good.
So I don't disagree that we are in a good place to win every game. I guess that makes me think ahead. And so if we win every game, then I really hope we finish 4th or above. I don't know if it's a guarantee or not. Maybe we do. I don't know. I haven't done the math. Because I would need a week off at some point, because otherwise then you're just on this massive high, winning every week. And then when you get to the finals to win the comp, you're gonna have to win every week. But if you get a week off, I understand he's still on this winning streak, but at least it's a week off from all the celebration, the joy, and the expectation. Having said that, if we finish 4th and lose the first week, that loss may not be the worst thing in the world. You still got to win 3 more to win the comp, but then you get your loss out of the way. If we go Corey's way and finish 5th, you got to win every game from there on in. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. I'm not concerned about the Dragons game this week, but I do think that they will turn up the Dragons. So I think that we need to be. I think if we play like today, we'll be fine. But if we sort of go into our shell a little bit like the South game, I think that it might be a different story. But I'm still backing us to win that one.
Yes.
I think the rest of the game. So I think the Titans and Knights games, while they're not, givens, I do think they're the easier ones. And I notice my Mac is on really low. Man,
It's time to end
so much. Oh, it's time to end it. So much tech goes into this that you guys and girls don't know about. And it's not a complaint. It's just like a thing. It's like, well, I remember to do everything. No, I haven't. Now, what am I going to do here? I'm going to pull that one up. This is fascinating for the audio audience. My point is, I think that we're in a good place. It's a shame that we lost some of those games. I tend to dwell on that a little bit, but I know I was speaking to someone at the Sharks today who are in the inner sanctum, and they were just they were just having a chat, and they were saying things like they really do look forward. Us fans, we look back and we go, West Tigers, Canberra, Brisbane, should have won all those ones. They're aware of it, but they don't focus on it. It'll get mentioned when we play them the next time. Hey, we buggered that one up. But they're not in that negative space. They're in a positive space. Their job today was to go win. They won. They move on. And hearing that kind of talk was really encouraging to me, that it sounds like they're in a pretty good place as well. So my long-winded point there, boys, is it's a shame that we're still fighting for that top four. It's a shame we're not guaranteed it because of how open the comp is. I mean, this is the year to do it. So that in mind, it doesn't mean we can't do it from 4th, 5th or below. So that's the positive out of all that.
Well,
but yes,
when I listen to your interviews with the lads, they always seem like upbeat, like every single time. They never seem down, even after the Rabbits game. Never seemed down. Even Ronnie posted to his story, and Heathson posted a story. Wins a win, we move on, and all that. It's like they always just seem upbeat about everything. Even when Nico was going for a rough patch before he had like until he's run now, he was going for a little bit of a rough patch, in my opinion. And there was the one where he screamed into the microphone and scared me at work.
That was.
Yeah.
That's kind of who he is and who they are as well. It's like
they're
not always like that. And I was explaining to someone the other day, like sometimes some of the guys, they always acknowledge people. They're always really polite. But on days like that, when they are goofing around, and it's in a positive way, I have to reinforce that. It wasn't like he wasn't supposed to be doing, something, and he came over, he was goofing around. He was just being Nico. But they're in a good space. You're right. It's a great point. They're in a good space. They like each other. They like each other's company. They like their environment of where they work. They like their coach, believe it or not. I know it's hard for some people to believe, but it's actually a pretty happy team, especially compared to some of the other rebels you see around. I'm not going to name names. You can insert whatever team you want, but there's probably 4 or 5 teams at the moment where you're just like, man, I'm so glad that's not my team. And we've been there historically, 100%. but that's not us. And that gives me confidence as well in the fact that they're a good, tight unit, and they're a pretty good team on their day. And we've asked for some consistency. We've seen it now for probably 4 weeks. I think they're trending in the right way. Some of those years under Fitzgibbon, we've sort of like limped into the finals. I think this might be a bit different.
100%,
It will be.
Yeah.
I talked to my dad heaps about it, and I love loyalty. And when I'm pretty sure it was all the back five taking pay cuts to stay with them and play for the club, absolutely love that. And in Britton Nickera's re-signing on his thingo, he said, super glad to stay loyal to this club. I'm like, I can't, like, that's my favorite thing about the club, all the loyal players. And obviously there's going to be a time where we will lose players just because we can't keep everybody around.
Yeah.
But because everybody wanted to play for us, we must be doing something well, right?
Yeah,
The culture
and
must be up.
you might see a few guys off contract who we've spoken about sign for next year, and they might know that they're kind of starting out in reserve grade with the option of pushing their way through if there's injury, suspensions, bad form, or whatever. And that shows how healthy the club is, to your point as well, is that some of these guys are going to stick around to play reserve grade, whereas they could go to some of these other clubs, not necessarily earn that much more money, but they would probably get more game time in NRL, and they're just not even considering it at the moment. So it's a good sign. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I know it's a bit late. I really appreciate it. And I'm seeing here, boys, that there are a lot of new followers. So people are following us on Instagram and YouTube and everywhere. So I really appreciate that. And if you're not doing that, it's a really quick thing to do. Hit subscribe wherever you are, YouTube, Spotify, all the social medias. It all helps. So we really appreciate that. I'm going to say goodbye to Corey and Kobe. So appreciate you guys. Talk to you hopefully next week after a derby win.
Yep.
Oh,
Have a great
100%.
week. Make sure
You
you
too.
razz your Dragons, mates.
Will do. Up.
Give them hell. Up.
mate.
All right. I'll
Bring it on, boys.
speak to
Come
you
on.
guys soon. Appreciate your time,
Thank you very
fellas.
much, Sam.
See you.
Pleasure.
Thanks for the
See you,
yarn.
dudes. Pleasure. That has been Kobe and Corey starring today, that's for sure. Late night SharkCast, which I've always wanted to do, like a late night SharkCast. We've done a few. I appreciate your time, really do. And we will be back before you know it to discuss Derby Week and all things related to it. And yeah, can't thank you all enough for everything that you support us with. Up Cronulla, we got the win. I'm going to play the song one more time just because we can, and really appreciate everything. Sharks win, and we out. Up.
Up, Cronulla, the boys in the black, white and blue. Up, Cronulla, name of the Sharks fit you. Sharks, forever, go out and play without fear. Now's the time to see